Let's see, should I just hold this like this? Perfect. So, if you guys stick with me today, I'm going to review two of my favorite vlogging cameras, the Osmo Pocket and the G7X Mark II. I'll compare them side by side, go throughout my day, and I'm gonna put the name of the camera in the lower left-hand corner of the screen so that you guys can always know which audio and what video is coming from which camera, okay? Hey, my name is Christian, but you can call me Lo. Okay, the first thing that I'm gonna be comparing between the two cameras is their stabilization. The G7X has gained quite a lot of popularity in no small part because of its stabilization. It's pretty smooth when you're... Salam! Hi! Hi, baby girl! Really?
She wanted to speak to mommy and daddy.
Hi, Malaya.
Hi, daddy.
I love you. Are you having fun with Mormor?
I love you, daddy. Okay, she's busy with the film. Goodbye, daddy.
I say,
Malaya, say bye-bye.
bye, I love you. Anyway, the G7X Mark II has become really popular in no small part because of its internal stabilization. You can pan from side to side, up and down, you can fold it out and vlog like this, and continue to walk without any real fear that your footage is going to be completely unusable. I wonder what Henry VIII would say if he knew that we were droning over his house. What is this sorcery? Off with his head! Now, that's not to say it's perfect. It's really not great for long distances walked, like without a subject, but I think this is worth it. Look at this. I've never been here when there are no people before, this is super cool. It's like the perfect spot to drone. It's not great for a lot of things, but that's where the Osmo Pocket steps in. It has a 3-axis gimbal, which you see on much bigger devices, on drones, on gimbals that you can put on, you know, a big camera, for example. And so here's a bit of footage just to compare the two.
Que solo palabras, y si no las cumples, se van a desvanecer. Algún día volverán.
Now, I would use the G7X for sitting out vlogging, like this for example, but if you want to do a hyperlapse or something along those lines, the G7X really isn't going to cut it. It's going to look shaky, and it's not really going to work out. With the Osmo Pocket, on the other hand, you can pretty much get that smooth motion for long periods of time without worrying about whether or not your footage is going to get shaky. Audio. I'm on really loud road where I think both cameras will have problems with audio. There it is. Love it. Now this is somewhere where the G7X really strives, in my opinion. It's not going to be, you know, like set up in a studio Rode mic type of audio. However, it isolates the person's voice pretty well. It does a pretty good job. You can get usable audio out of it without having an external audio source. The Osmo Pocket, on the other hand, has similar audio but really only one direction. Because the G7X has its mic on the top of the camera, it can pretty much pick up audio that's going around. For example, if I'm speaking and I'm trying to listen to the person in front of the camera, I can hear them both having a conversation. However, with the Osmo Pocket, the mic is on the same side of the camera as the screen, and so you can only hear what's on that side of the screen. So if you want to hear the audio coming from what you're pointing the camera at, you have to flip the camera around, and then you lose use of the screen. If you're doing like selfie mode camera, the audio is usable. It works perfectly fine. It's not perfect, especially in windy conditions, but it works. However, if you're trying to film, like if I'm trying to film my daughter running around in circles, and she's screaming and laughing, it's really hard to pick up her audio, her laughter, or if I'm trying to film somebody else, their voice. Now right here, I'm gonna go ahead and just switch straight to the vlogging test. You're gonna see both cameras side by side in a general vlog type setting. I may not actually be the best at handling these two cameras, but I do happen to be a photographer and videographer for a company called Pick Your Photo. So if you want to see more videos about London, what to do, where to go, beautiful places to take photos and video, make sure to subscribe. And all the same, we're headed to Mexico in a few weeks, so if you want to see some awesome footage of the beautiful beaches in Mexico and our adventures there, make sure to subscribe. heck left this on the ground? We're moving to Mexico because we really love it, to be perfectly honest. I mean, we have a place, we have security here in London. We're the kind of people who really need to get a new change of pace every 6 months or whatever. And we're going to Mexico because we love the food, we love the culture, we love the weather, and we can continue doing this kind of stuff from there. We can continue doing YouTube, we can continue doing photography. There's really nothing stopping us. We're definitely taking a risk, you know, moving across the world to a new country where Deborah doesn't speak the language and my Spanish isn't like it used to be. But we just absolutely love it. I don't think there's anywhere else that I've really wanted to be. Even as early as first getting married, I think Deborah and I decided that that was where we wanted to call home. Next is price. Honestly, I could not believe just how cheap the Osmo Pocket was. Neither one of these cameras is brand new, so you can get them for less money than the list price. However, on Amazon brand new, the Osmo Pocket right now is sitting at about £329 in the UK, and the G7X is running at about £599. However, the G7X obviously looks and feels like a more premium product, and so that price point makes a bit more sense. Convenience. One of the main things that really make the Osmo Pocket different from what's currently available is the fact that it literally fits in your pocket. It's the camera that I carry everywhere. I don't use it all the time, but I just snug it into my pocket right next to my wallet, and it's perfect. The G7X, on the other hand, would not fit amongst the rest of the stuff in my pocket. Now, it does fit in my back pocket, but I don't like to keep it there unless I know that I'm going to be using it a lot. And that's largely because, I don't know, it weighs my pants down. It's not really that convenient to hold in your pocket. That said, it does fit in a backpack, obviously. It works really well. You can pull it out, it's small, it's easy. It's just like any other point and shoot camera that you'd expect. With all of that said, I have to say that the Osmo Pocket is more difficult to handle with one hand. It comes with a case, which is great for protection. As a gimbal, a motorized gimbal needs that protection that the case offers. And if you slip that into your pocket, then opening up the case really requires two hands. You can do it with one hand, but then if you were to like take the Osmo Pocket out of the case and then drop the case on the ground, obviously you can't do that. You need two hands to put it away and take it out. The G7X, on the other hand, I found it's much easier to just slip out of my back pocket, press the button and start recording. So if I'm prepared with the G7X, it's more convenient. However, the Osmo Pocket is much easier to just carry around with me everywhere. So in terms of the look and feel of both devices, the G7X looks and feels like a more premium product, and it is. It's almost twice as expensive, and it just makes sense. It's made mostly of metal and glass. It does feel a little bit more fragile than the Osmo Pocket in its case. The Osmo Pocket is mostly made of plastic, and it feels a little bit cheaper. With that said, it is a lot more discreet. So if I were to pull out the Osmo Pocket, honestly, it looks more like a vape than a camera. If I'm whipping out the G7X and I start filming things, it's quite obvious. But if I have the Osmo Pocket, I can hold it close to my chest and I can walk straight ahead, and most people won't even notice. I've seen people, like when Deborah was filming on the bridge, walk by and this dude just walks by and he turns back. Is that a camera? And so most people don't even realize that it's a camera. It's discreet, it's small, it's easy to carry. It does feel cheaper, but it is cheaper. So that's something to keep in mind. Now here's where I'll compare the two cameras like cinematic expression, if that makes sense. What I feel is that, as I said earlier on in the video, the G7X it's harder to get like that hyperlapse long-term motion, and so I would not use it for that. It does do time-lapse videos automatically, which is great, something that every modern camera should do. But the G7X, you're never going to get like a crisp, clean, smooth image that you can put in slow-mo, pan around an object. But what you do get is that 1-inch sensor and that 1.8 aperture. You get a lot of depth and bokeh. So if you want to get like a close-up shot and you want to go object, new object, new object, you will get something a bit more cinematic. However, because of that better stabilization on the Osmo Pocket, you can speed up, you can slow down, you can do slow-mo or hyperlapses. You can get, circle around an object in order to get that full feel of the object. Now, you won't get the depth of the G7X, but you will get much smoother motion. And for some people, depending on what you want to do, that's definitely worth it. As I touched on just a few seconds ago, the aperture on the G7X is much bigger, and because of that, you get that depth, but you're also going to perform way better in low light. The Osmo Pocket, on the other hand, does not perform very well in low light, and so I have to give a point to the G7X here. There's really no getting around it. No ifs, ands, or buts. If you need low light performance, the G7X is a better camera. Now, the natural colors. Right off the bat, I have to call this one a tie because it totally depends on what you want to use them for. I sometimes prefer the colors of the Osmo Pocket and sometimes prefer the colors of the G7X. I do think that the G7X colors look a bit more natural, a bit more soft, which is great if like that's the look that you're going for, or if you're trying to showcase beauty, for example, or you're trying to, I think it's great for, well, it just got really bright. Hold on. Which can be great if that's what you're going for. However, if you want those harsher colors, a bit more of a street look, or you just want to saturate a little bit more because of the style that you're going for, the Osmo Pocket is also great. I wouldn't say that either one of them is bad. What I will say about the Osmo Pocket is it does give you a little bit more room for improvement because it has a higher resolution, it can film at higher frame rate. You can do things like correct the alignment of a photo or of an image in cropping into something else. I can't pick a clear winner here because sometimes I prefer the colors of the G7X and sometimes I prefer the colors of the Osmo Pocket. Well, that's it for me, guys. Thank you for sticking with me until the end. If you want more videos like this, please like and subscribe. If you don't, just like and subscribe anyway. Oh, thank you guys for making it to the end. I'm gonna go relax.